Hello everyone, this is Mixchizzle here, and today I'll be showing you guys how to create extremely lifelike Minecraft thumbnails for your YouTube videos. And this technique is used by a lot of big pros like Ssundee, Sky Does Minecraft, Bayesian, okay, maybe not Bayesian, Mr. Waffles, etc. And to do this, you're going to need two impressive programs. The first one is Cinema 4D, and the other one is Photoshop. So, download both programs, and then once you have Cinema 4D, search for it, but do not open it. Right-click it, and then open its file location. And then once we're here, head to the library folder, go to Browser, and drag in this file that you could download. There's a link down below. And what this does is it basically creates a rig for our Minecraft characters so we could import them in our program Cinema 4D and create those nice poses that Minecraft characters do on thumbnails. So once you have this downloaded, I know your fingers are itching to get Cinema 4D, simply open up the program, let it run, and it'll run pretty fast depending on your computer speed. And once we're here, you can see we have this little nice editing layout program thingy, and it looks nice of course, but we need our Minecraft character here. So what we're going to do is press File, we're going to press Load Object Preset, and then go over FMR3. This won't be in your version because I downloaded this separately. And then once you're in FMR3, simply choose version 1.7 skins or 1.8 skins. I'm going to use a 1.7 skin, and then I'm going to choose smooth. So what fingers does is it basically creates fingers for your character. Sharp basically makes your Minecraft character more pixelated, make it look more Minecrafty, and smooth makes it more lifelike, and the pixels are not as pronounced. So I'm going to choose smooth, and voila, we have a character here. But we do not want just a simple old Steve, we want your skin. So we head down here to the skin option and simply search for your skin. Mine's is in downloads, so let me find it. It's not going to take too long. There it is. And press open. It's going to say this image is not in your project search path. Simply press yes, whatever. And now we're here. Look at that. A beautiful Minecraft character. Now you can see that the eyebrows didn't spawn where they were supposed to. There should be a little bit higher, and that's because I created the eyebrows generate. So don't freak out, it's not an error. Simply go down over here and adjust the eyebrow height. So I'm going to bring that up somewhere over there. I'll actually manually make this 60%, which is what I like keeping it on. And then we're going to change the left eyebrow height to 60% as well. But this just doesn't look as great. So we're going to adjust the bending of the eyebrows. We could do this in this awesome rig. So here's the bend option. We simply boost that up to max. That's just my preference. And the other one as well. So now let's create some emotion on his face. So we could do this by finding mouth in this area over here. Come on, there it is. And then simply playing around with this until you get a good looking mouth. Look at that. He just could eat a whole cookie in one chomp, couldn't he? Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's just adjust that a bit more. Wow, his mouth is huge. There you go. I like that. But this also doesn't look as nice. So we're going to adjust the expression by adding some teeth, which you could do by adjusting this over here. I don't actually have a preference for this. I just play around with this until it looks nice. That looks pretty good. Yeah, perfect. So now that we got his face out of the way, let's adjust his posture. And there you go. So let's adjust his posture. We could do this by simply pressing on an appendage, in this case an arm, and moving it around. So I'm going to move this around until it looks pretty nice and sassy. So let's make him, I don't know, let's make him look like he's in a walking position. You could do that by simply dragging and using these three-dimensional pointers. Pretty self-intuitive. I'm not going to go into detail here because it's very simple. Let's drag this a little in front. I think that looks nice. Yes, that looks nice. So now that we got the arms out of the way, we could press the legs and move the legs as well. So I'm going to drag this back and drag this forward. So this is going to be like a strange standing position. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make it look nice and 3D-ish. So I think we got the legs out of the way. Okay, so that doesn't look too good. Let's adjust the bend on his right leg and then messing around with the front. And now let's just adjust his posture. We could add a floor by clicking here so we could see where the floor is in case you want to add a floor. And then we'll drag him, whoops, not that. We want to drag our character, so highlight that and drag him until It's pretty decent, and on top of the floor. Okay, so now we don't need a floor, so delete the floors, and there you go. Okay, let me get to him. No, I do not want this program. Okay, right, let's quickly adjust the view. Where is he? Oh gosh, McShizzle, stop messing around. Okay, there he is. That was really awkward. I was like, where are you? Okay, there he is. So now that we've created the position, it just doesn't look as lifelike because his head's in the same position, his body isn't bending. So you could do that by simply hitting R on your keyboard for the rotate tool, highlighting his chest, and we're gonna just make him lean a bit forward here. We're gonna make him lean his chest a little bit forward as well, like so. So it just looks a bit more realistic and looks like he's fluid and has motion. Let's adjust his head as well. Simply highlight his head. Let's add some tilt to his head because nothing in life's ever straight. Everything's always a bit imperfect. There you go. So what I want to do now is render this, but to do this I want to get a nice shot, a nice looking shot, because the editor is what's going to look like when you render. So I like this, but I want to rotate my character very quickly. Let's rotate him. Come on, rotate. There you go. Now let's rotate him a bit, and I'll zoom back in. I'm just rolling my mouse now. I don't know. That looks pretty good. That looks really good actually. And now we're gonna adjust the render settings. So head up here to render and then go to edit render settings. And what we're gonna do is adjust the size to something more convenient. We're gonna use 1280 by 720, which is what YouTube accepts as its standard size. I keep my resolution at 1 million. However, this is all up to you. I recommend keeping it at 280 if you don't have an crazy computer. And once we're here, go to save and adjust the format to PNG because we want a transparent background for Photoshop, and then make the depth 16-bit. Make sure alpha channel is also selected for this transparent background. And now we're going to click these triple dots for an area to select it. I'm going to call this test subject. I already have a file name like that, but we'll just rewrite it and press save. And yes, I do want to replace it. Okay, now once we're here, we're gonna add some effects to make this character look much better. What we're gonna do is press the effects here. We're gonna add ambient occlusion. We're gonna add depth of field to make it look a bit more 3D-ish. We're gonna add global illumination and my personal favorite, glow. It just makes the character glow a bit. Looks more realistic. It looks like there's a light nearby. And I do this sparingly. Don't overuse glow. It looks a bit strange. So what we're gonna do now is create a light source, and you might say, hey, we made a glow, but that's the inner glow. We need outer glow so we could actually see his body. So there you go. I just made myself a light. You could of course adjust the location of your light down here. Let me adjust that, and I'll put it right in front of his face. Come on, get that bluey in. There you go. I just cannot move this. Come on, move. You could do this. There you go. So we're gonna add this right in front of his face. So is that in front? Wow, I'm really messing up today. Remember guys, I'm a professional, and please do try this at home if you ever do want to make your own thumbnail. So there you go. We added a light straight smack into his face. So now his entire body will be illuminated, and I want it to look like, oh, that's a bit too high. There you go, perfectly adjusted. I like it just like this. So what would you do is head to this label over here, this button, click it, and it's gonna write your file. And this will not appear in your pop-up. And once you're here, your pose will render. This takes some time depending on how much pixels you put on. I put it on 1 million, which is pretty crazy. It's like 1 million pixels per square inch, which is insane. And you see that glow effect that just went over the image. It just looks so nice and realistic, really hot. Yeah, so that's what I like to do with my thumbnail. So now that we have this, you could X the editor and put Cinema 4D down. And now we're gonna open up Photoshop. So search that up and open it up. So once Adobe Photoshop is done loading, we're gonna create a new background layer. So go to File, New. And what I like to do is firstly, adjusting the size to 1280 by 720, which is, like I said, what YouTube accepts. I keep the resolution at 280. And then I'm gonna keep my background contents white. But if you have another background, let's say a picture of your map or someone else's map, or I don't know, Minecraft background, the city, you would do transparent so you could place that image on top. But we do not have that today, so we'll use white. Okay, so now that we have this huge white flapping background, we're gonna remove this lock icon here so we could adjust this layer because it looks really boring. We want to add some excitement to it. So let's add a gradient layer. And what I like to do is using this one over here, pressing OK, and then I like adding the style to radial, so our character will be right here in the middle and it just looks like he's glowing a bit more. But this doesn't look good. I want it to look even better. So firstly, that was a mistake. Click these tabs on the bottom to adjust the color. So I'm gonna go to in the center, I want it dark orange. So let's find that. There you go, we have a dark orange. And now click the next tab and you simply adjust. This is pretty self-intuitive. And now let's make this slightly more brighter, I guess you could say. There you go, that looks slightly more brighter. And then the final one, simply click that again. We're gonna make it even brighter. Let's add something like that. There you go. That looks really nice. It looks like a large orange belly button. Perfect. So now what we're gonna do is drag this render that we had from Cinema 4D. So search for it. I called mine test subject numero uno. Not really. And now let's drag this on top of our desktop. And look at that. It already looks sassy. Like just look at it. It looks so beautiful. Okay, so now that we have this, let's stop overreacting. Let's because remember, YouTube thumbnails are small, so make sure your image is pretty big of yourself so it looks pretty nice and impressive. Let's add this over here, somewhere in the corner right there. And once you're done positioning it or adjusting the size, hit this check mark over here, and that's it. We're pretty much done, but now let's add some more realism. Let's make our test subject have some shadow. So double click the layer that you want to add a shadow to, which is over here, and then check marking drop shadow. We're just gonna quickly adjust this. I like making it look, make it a little bit larger, adjusting the spread a bit, not much, just a little bit, and then the size, I like making it very smooth. I like making my thumbnails very smooth, not rough, because in real life there are sharp shadows, I agree, but just smoother looks better. That's what I like to say. And remember, there is an outer glow option, but we're not gonna be using that because we already added some glow to him. Perfect. So now it just looks so amazing. So what we add is some text. So let's add some text. Let's go to press T on your keyboard. It's going to generate a text tool. So we're going to write 3D Minecraft. Whoops, the text is way too large. Okay, so 3D, let's make that a separate text just so it looks much better. Then let's add another text by clicking T. And let's write firstly, let's adjust the size by going up here, and I'll make it like 30 maybe. I think that's fine. Minecraft thumb. Nope, we do not want that. We want it even smaller. We want it maybe at 10. Would that work? I don't know. This is all just pretty much guessing at this point. Minecraft thumbnails. Okay, let me spell this right. Ugh. And bingo. So now that we have our text, let's just move it around so it just looks much better. Press V on your keyboard for the move tool. And let's make this like so. And now, yeah, this looks nice. We could also add effects to the text, but before we do that, let's just make it look even awesome. Let's add like a line going right between the two, just to make it look really nice. So we're gonna head to File and New, and then we're gonna create a very small a small background. So make it, I would say, like 100 by 100. In this example, remember guys, this is all pretty much creativity at this point. Now I'm gonna make it white, but I'm gonna give you ideas and just help you out. So I'm gonna drag this out so we can see both images. Press V on your keyboard and drag this onto our screen. That doesn't look like a line. So we're gonna adjust this by going to Edit, Free Transform, and then let's make it look like there's a line passing through the entire image. So yeah, that's not a line, that's like a thick blob. Let's make it, nope, not thin enough. Let's make it even thinner. One more, there you go. That looks just perfect. I like it. We're gonna use the zoom tool for pressing Z. Oh, I can't do that. I'm in an editor, sorry. Can I make this even smaller? Wow, I can't. Cannot make it smaller. There you go, that looks nice. So press checkmark once you're done, and then drag the location until you are satisfied. In this case, I want the line to go behind my character, so I'm gonna drag this below everything, almost everything. And now let's use the zoom tool, zoom in here, so we could adjust the location. So I want it to be like somewhat in the middle. So let's use the V tool again and adjust the size. There you go. It just looks really nice now. So I'm going to hit Alt with my zoom tool enabled and zoom out. Pretty simple. But yeah, this line doesn't look that nice. Let's add some effects to it. So double click. I hope this is the correct layer. And then let's add a shadow. Wouldn't really work. Let's see how a shadow works. No, a shadow won't work. Let's add some bevel and emboss to it. Firstly, I like keeping mine at chisel hard. I know that everything in life is smooth, but in this case, it is not. Now, I like using the glass contour, this jittery shake. It just makes it look like a button, so it looks much better right now. And yeah, we're pretty much done at this point, but now let's add another gradient overlay. This time, I want it to be somewhat like this, but now let's make the line darker so it doesn't contrast with the screen too much. So let's head to some dark orange, I guess. Oh wait, that was the exact same color. We need a darker orange, so let's go down here. That's like a dark red, but whatevs. Looks pretty nice, I think. And there you go. Now it just looks like a band, like a line. That's what I like about it. But now we're gonna have to make this a bit lighter to make it look more 3D-ish. Let's add a little bit more. Perfect. And there you go. We added a line. So this looks nice and epic. But what I would like to do at this point is make the text look even more epic. So I'm going to head to 3D, double click this, and what I like doing is using bevel and emboss. Once we're here, go into the settings, adjust this. I use chisel hard, make the depth a little bit less or more depending on it. Uncheck mark global light, that just messes up everything. And let's see, we could play around with this. I like the jittering one. The jittering one looks really nice. It looks 3D-ish, I guess you could say. And once we're done with that, I want it to drop a shadow. Let's adjust this as well. I don't want a really big shadow. First, let me adjust the angle of everything. No, that looks just really weird at this point. There you go. That looks nice. Now let's adjust the spread a little bit and then the size. Like I said, I like it to be blurry. Blurry looks really nice. That's a bit too much spread, I think. And the distance, let's adjust that. There you go. That looks nice. And what I would do is now add a gradient. Gradient overlay. And we're just going to adjust this as usual. I'm going to use this one and just edit it from there conveniently. Photoshop, thank you so much. For the program too, I might add. And then let's use orange as usual, but let's make it darker orange, like so. Make the little one a little bit darker. And then making the top that dark brownish orange that looks really nice. There you go. Nice and perfect. And it does blend a bit with the background, but that's okay. It looks really nice. Now let's simply press OK and save this, and now head to our Minecraft thumbnail file over here. We are going to double click this, but we're not going to make it like this. We're going to make this a bit simpler. We're going to add what do you call it? We're going to add a stroke. So it just looks much more better right now, I think. We're also going to drop a shadow, but it's not going to be as large. And we're going to make the spread and the size. There you go, nice and blurry. And then we're going to add a gradient overlay. So I want this to be striking because it's smaller, so it has to be a bit more striking. So what we're going to add is make this green, something that's not on our picture at all. So it's going to be very, very bright. The eye is going to like notice it extremely. So let's make a dark green, a lighter green. And remember, I'm doing this pretty fast, so this isn't a perfect thumbnail. And let's make a little dark greenish, more dark, thank you. And perfect, now it just looks so good. At this point, there's nothing really much to add. But let's say you want to add a Minecraft logo. Let's add it on top, let's say. So I already have a Minecraft logo saved. Make sure it's transparent, meaning it's a PNG. Let's drag this up over here. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Okay, so if you do want to add a Minecraft logo, this is how you would add it, but I will not be adding it because it just looks very, very weird. It's not going to fit anywhere on our picture. So let's go to Minecraft thumbnails, and I just want to make this a little bit bigger. So let's adjust the size, maybe to 15. Would that work? I hope it will because it's a bit small. Okay, that looks good. Now we're going to adjust our skin a bit because it's too much in the frame. Yeah. So at this point, you could basically just adjust everything a bit and make it look all nice and pretty. So let's move that there, and now we have to move 3D too, so it's perfectly where it's supposed to be, like so. Now it's 3D in parallel to this. And now let's move our test subject, and I think we're pretty much done. I could add more effects at this point, but we're not going to add that. And I want the line to be visible above his shoulders, so the 3D is a bit more apparent. And there you go. We are done. After you're done editing your photo, simply go up here to File, and then head to Save As. And now I'm gonna call this thumbnail. I don't know, just nice and simple. Make sure you save it as a JPEG format or YouTube will not accept this. Press save and adjust the quality to 12, which is the max, and press OK. And there you go. You have just completed your first 3D inspirational, awesome looking thumbnail. This is very simplistic, but it looks nice and it doesn't take that much time. It took like 20 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate all likings and thank you guys so much for watching.